Hi travelers, Tara here, Hiddenlotus Tarot. I have been up way early this morning. I got up at 3:33, and I know it's the full moon, that big super moon that we had. It was the biggest, strongest supermoon closest to the earth since January 1948. So indeed, this has been a year. 2016 has had a lot of huge planetary influences going on. And it's probably like that every year. I just wasn't paying any attention. But anyway, I'm coming to you today with a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for December 2016. This is a general reading, and the messages will not resonate with everyone. In order to gain more clarity into your situation requires a personal reading. I do readings 6 days a week. My turnaround time is between 48 to 72 hours. I don't believe in making people wait. You want answers, you want them as fast as possible. You don't want it 2 weeks down the road. You can always click over here in the right-hand corner of the video, and that will take you directly over to my website. I do ask before you make a payment and you book a reading that you read the important information on reading. And I think if you go over to the right-hand side on the website, there's like a little menu thing on the right-hand side, and you over there under readings by phone, I think it says important information by booking. Kind of search around on the site, you'll find it. I'm still playing around with the site. So please read that before you make payment and you book, because it will explain everything that you need to know, the procedure, how it works, and what I ask of you in terms of the information that you give me. If you book a reading, please don't send me a second email telling me that you've made a payment or that you filled out the form. I get those things automatically. It's a website, so I'm notified automatically when you pay and when you book. All right. I do ask that you go ahead, if it's by phone, that you go ahead and have your Viber downloaded and installed. Because what I do as soon as I get that information, once I receive the form and the payment, I go through the information, and 9 times out of 10, what I do is I just go ahead and add you into the Viber. So that's that. Let's see. I'm still working on my courses. I've been talking to a couple of people over at WordPress. I've also been talking to some people at Infusionsoft. I've got a lot of irons in the fire. My personal life has completely taken a tick upward. My daughter, who is completely the social butterfly, has lots of things going on. My house is always full of kids every weekend. It's been fun, but just kind of busy. So we're going to go ahead and get with the reading here. Again, this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'd like to welcome my new subscribers, and thank you for joining on board. You can sign up for the website. You do not have to have a WordPress blog. You can simply sign up by email. That will give you any notifications that I have coming out. I've had to put a lot of back things on the burner, and I feel bad about that. I wanted to do something special for you guys for all the support that you've given me for 2016. I really appreciate it. I'm very humbled by it. So let's go ahead and lay 9 cards and see what the possible energies are that may be coming up for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please keep in mind that these messages are general, so take what you can from it and disregard what you cannot. 9 cards down, the High Priestess. Wow. The Ten of Wands, the King of Pentacles, Page of Swords, 5 of Cups, 2 of Swords, the Hierophant. He's been showing up a lot in even the personal readings. The Ace of Coins, and then the Sun. Doesn't sound too bad. With the Knight of Swords coming in. I do have the Sibilas here. What I'm looking at in the center, and this is what we're just coming through. We're coming out of the time of Scorpio, and right in the center I have Mars and Scorpio. And Mars in Scorpio Mars is actually one of the rulers of Scorpio. And Mars in Scorpio can be intense, it can be secretive, it can be aggressive. Um, that kind of I want what I want when I want it kind of an energy. Um, but to me, the Five of Cups speaks to some type of disappointment or emotional adjustment happening. Now I have this King of Coins here, and I have these two. I have one, two, three major arcana cards. And for those of you who are new to the channel, major arcana cards hold more weight and hold more sway over the reading. These are typically, if they're not representative of archetype people in your life, then they represent spiritual lessons. The High Priestess is um, all about intuition, about listening really to what your self is saying to yourself. We all have intuition. Some of us have intuition that is more developed than others, but it's what you call those little red flags. And sometimes we ignore those little red flags. So the High Priestess shows up to come in to say, I think that some of you have really been struggling with whatever messages you've been receiving. The High Priestess also knows things. So this could represent a female, someone who is very knowledgeable. She could even be somebody who works in the library sciences, or someone who handles confidential documents. Okay, so she knows a lot, but she doesn't always say what she knows. She sees a lot. She doesn't always let other people know that she's seeing things. And I think if this is not you struggling with your intuition, then this could be someone around you that's kind of been giving you problems. Now I have this King of Coins here. So if this is not a earth sign individual, now this reading is going to apply whether this is same sex or heterosexual. Okay. So whomever's going to take the role of this earth male energy here, this if it is not an earth sign male, then it is going to be someone who may be perhaps very wealthy or has a lot of wealth. This could be property. It could be, there's all different kinds of wealth. It could be someone who's a real estate agent, somebody who's in stocks and bonds, does securities, things of that nature. This is typically someone who has worked very long and very hard to accrue what they have. They like the good things in life. So this is somebody who's going to dress well, eat good food, drive a nice car, take great vacations, that kind of a person. This could also represent a boss that you may have if this is a work issue. I'm trying to get into it to see what the cards are telling me, but what I am picking up, the focus card here with the Five of Cups, this is an emotional adjustment. It's some kind of disappointment. Maybe this is an individual that in some way, shape, or form is silent. You have not heard from them. There is a connection there. I do have these swords here. And sometimes a high priestess can be someone that you have a connection with. It's a spiritual connection. This could even be some kind of psychic connection. I'm not getting that there are dreams here. I would expect to see the moon, maybe the Nine of Swords. But there's something about either the interaction or the energy of the high priestess in which we lost something, or something didn't go as planned. And we are still focused on that. But as you can see here, we have these Two of Cups behind. So I like to call this card the Two of Cups in disguise. And so that is our focus. So it is really about something that has occurred that is really still kind of a burden, so to speak. Perhaps you don't see your way out of it, or you've been grappling with this situation for a long, long time. Take heart. That is a 10 of Wands. So the energy will eventually be moving, and it will be moving to the Ace of Wands. This is the cycle of life. So whatever issue this is, know that it is a part of life and not all of life. Now I see that I have the Page of Swords here, and the page is a student of communication. And I find this to be quite odd because I have two cards of communication with this page sandwiched in between them. Now she is all about the intuition, the inner wisdom, maybe meditation, things like that, getting in touch with what your spirit guides or whatever your intuition is telling you. And then I have this Hierophant here, and this Hierophant is all about information from the higher self or from the higher dimension. But the role of the Hierophant is to disseminate that information down. Okay, that's what he does. That's why we have the two acolytes at the base of his feet. Now, sometimes this can also represent someone who is in an elevated position, so to speak. The Hierophant does rule um, corporations, large corporations, universities, the military, big businesses. He also represents churches, as you can see. Any place where there's a hierarchical structure, any place where orders or information is disseminated down. Basically, that's on a need to know, who needs to know what. And I say that because of the two keys at the bottom, at the base of his feet, that represents secret knowledge. You know, the guy at the top always knows something that the people at the bottom don't. What's that saying? Shit rolls downhill as well. So, but his role is to, I kind of get these, it's like a leader uh, in some respect, but it also reads like there's some kind of failure here between these two because of this this Five of Cups. And what I was saying about this particular vertical column here, and oh, I'm sorry, past, present, future, and then the interplay of the cards. So here in the past, I have these two individuals who, for all intents and purposes, may have high moral standards and high moral values. This person works off of the natural laws. This person works off the laws of dogma or set beliefs, can be somewhat rigid. And then in between, I have this Page of Swords. And as I was saying, the Page of Swords is a student of communication. This is someone who will take a risk of getting closer to the truth, can learn about themselves through the way that they communicate. This whole column here is speaking about communications of some sort. I'm not quite sure what it's trying to tell me, but coming across the center row, I see that perhaps some message did come in, and this message is what has caused this Three of Cups. And now we kind of feel in a place where we don't feel that we can make a decision. We don't think that we have all of the information that we need to make the correct decision here. And again, it is these two very, very different types of communication that are coming into play. And this could be why we have the Five of Cups in the center, is because it's really been two people who perhaps think differently, have two different communication styles, approach things from a different manner. And maybe there's something about the way that they communicate with each other where they're not quite able to get onto the same page or to communicate their ideas. I could even say perhaps in a kind and loving manner. Those are cups, and cups represent emotion. Okay, but nevertheless, there is love there between, that sits in the center of this. So I have this Ten of Wands here. Someone has been struggling, perhaps with a loss, perhaps with something that did not go well in the past, and they're really. But what I have here is this Ace of Pentacles, and this is an opportunity to walk a new path. Okay, now this could be in a financial sense, that we do have the Pentacles here. We do have the representation of corporations and whatnot. But again, your wealth can be anything. So the universe wants to offer this to you. Okay, the divine wants to offer this to you. But typically what happens is it's a test. There's something that you have to do or complete in order to take advantage of this brand new path that is being presented to you. Okay? But we don't feel we have enough information to do that. Okay? What I'm picking up is that someone feels that someone is being deceptive. And that can be the energy of the high priestess, simply because she doesn't say everything. She keeps things to herself. And it's not necessarily that she does it to be manipulative. It's just that she keeps things to herself. She doesn't say a lot. She sees everything, but she doesn't say a lot. And maybe this person is more rigid in the way that they communicate, okay, and may not be open to the ideas or the information that this high priestess is bringing down. See, she sits at the top. Nevertheless, it ends with the Sun card. And we have the Two Swords. This is a perception. You see, this page is quick. He's got great comebacks. Can have he's not, sometimes can be not a very, very nice person, can be rather insensitive in the things that he says or the manner in which he communicates them. And this may have caused some pain to someone. Indeed, maybe even a breakup. But I find, and to me it speaks of a couple, because I have the two people here and the two cups there. Then I have the Two Swords here. And the Two Swords, swords are simply perceptions. They're ideas, their beliefs, their communications across all mediums. But here the Two of Swords is saying, you know, I'm not sure when the person said this if they meant that. I'm not sure, and maybe this could be someone who is not, they themselves are not communicating clearly. It really reads like there's some confusion between these two energies, these two individuals here. The funny thing about the Two of Swords is that the person on the card, their eye, one of the eyes, the left eye, is not covered all the way. Okay. And so it kind of says that you do know what the answer is. You can make the decision, but sometimes I can read this as the fear, because this is known as one of the hoodwinked card. Well, is the person lying to me? Are they bullshitting me? Are they hoodwinking me? You know, or am I just not seeing this picture clearly? And so the swords come up. The swords come up in an effort to protect the heart or the emotions. Sometimes I see this card as, particularly with the High Priestess and the Hierophant, it's like a choice between a moral and an ethical decision, okay? Or an emotional decision and ethical decision. This could be, do I get with this person because they have a lot of money, or do I get with this person because I love them? I love the person, they don't have a lot of money, and that's what I really needed, somebody to come in and support me a little bit in what I'm doing to help me out. Or this guy or this woman has all of the money in the world, they can give me the life that I want, but I don't love them. So it's one of those kinds of decisions, so to speak. That's just an example. But then the Sun comes out to kind of shed light. You see, we go from the Hierophant to the Ace of Pentacles to the Sun. And then I have this Knight of Swords charging in. Now, the Knight of Swords typically deals with, again, it's communications. It rules the third house. It could also be about things happening around your neighborhood and your community. This could be some event that happens. It could be some news that you get around your community, your neighborhood. And it looks as though this energy of this King of Pentacles, like he sends a message and everything works out okay. You see, the sun comes in. She represents the moon, but she represents the moon in an actual person. So this would be somebody who may be soft, who may be very feminine, who may be kind of quiet, um, but has a lot to say because she knows a lot, but does not always share everything that she knows. I've said that already. Um, this could have something to do with somebody, the initials B and J here. But you see, what's interesting to me is the two keys at the base of the Hierophant also speaks to the Hierophant not telling something that he knows. He's got the secret knowledge. You see, so does she. She's got secret knowledge too. She's holding the Torah on her lap. Okay? And it could be that the Hierophant thinks he's hiding stuff, but her intuition is already telling her, or at least giving her some indication about what's happening. She's not letting on that she knows, though. And it could be two people sizing each other up. So let's take a look. This King of Pentacles here, because we can see in one respect that he sends out a message, or he says something, or he communicates something that kind of clears up. It sheds light on the whole situation. But then again, we have the Two of Swords, and maybe he's the person who comes in to break this up. Okay, maybe he's sitting at the top. He's level-headed, he's rational, he's practical, he's a realist. And because this card is also known as the stalemate card. And in a way, it's like the card that they're telling me in two different lines that maybe this person holds the key. But I do feel that these are two separate energies. Now, he represents Taurus and he represents Capricorn. And then the swords are all air energy. So let's take a look first and see. You know, maybe somebody lost their job. Ten of Wands, Three of Cups. Maybe they lost their position, and maybe somebody knew it and they didn't say anything. There's something about these two cards, the Ten of Wands and the King of Pentacles. I do have two fives here attached to the King, and fives are about group dynamics. And it speaks to outside events, things coming in that sometimes you really have no control over, that change things for you. But they're changing because you're being offered the opportunity to walk a new path. And as we know, change is always scary. Now, this Hierophant can be someone who's a counselor, a mentor, somebody that you go to for advice. You see, even the High Priestess is sad here. There's a loss for her as well. But like I said, there's still love here. There's still love between two people. It's a Two of Cups. So whatever this event was, this Three of Cups, this loss that I think is felt very acutely, And she knows that. She knows it. There's a great attraction there. She knows it. And maybe he has doubts. Maybe because he's not seeing anything or he's not hearing anything from the individual. And it almost reads in some respect as though the high priestess has been carrying the burden of something that she knows. Some secret that she hasn't been telling that may either help him. I don't see that there's a hurt. We're going to, I see that there's a hurt, but let's see what, right in the center, what the Five of Cups is telling us. Now I get two priests here. There's the Hierophant and then there's the Sacerdote. Now this card Speranza is about hope. It's dreams. It could also be about waiting and apprehension. I have a fortunate event, something very, very positive. This is fortune. Fortune coming in. There's the Wheel of Fortune there at the bottom of her feet. She's got the cornucopia. So this is something that I'm going to say someone's been waiting on for quite some time, perhaps, as if the tables finally turned, okay, and an opportunity has come through. Maybe it comes with this message here. But then I have the Sacerdote, and this card can be about the single man, but it can also be about faith. And again, I get the message of a counselor or uh, a mentor kind of a person. It could even be a psychiatrist, but someone that you can, that will help you in some way, shape, or form with this particular loss of this Three of Cups here. Something being spilled. And the threes are indicative of the start of something, two things coming together to make a third thing. And I do have the two acolytes here with the Hierophant. So that's just an odd trio of cards. It could also be someone being disappointed because they really were waiting and they were hoping for something positive to happen, but it didn't. But it did not. The Sacerdote. But then, he can hide things. He's got that, the 13th century priest, they had wives and kids and they own property. Okay. So, and that could be why we have this Two of Swords, as if there's something being hidden. But I don't think it's anything nefarious, and I don't think that it's anything, it falls on the cups. So this could literally be someone hiding the way that they feel, not speaking clearly. Maybe, let's look at the Two of Swords. I could be speculating on this all day. It's a strange reading. The Two of Swords. Alegria on top of the Two of Swords. Either a decision to be made about family and friends, those two separate groups. The Conselante Sorpresa. I don't have enough information to make the right decision. And really, the two options that I have, that's not really good enough. The Consolante Sorpresa it's a less than, perfect success. It's an eh. That's my eh card. And the Gran Signore. Now remember I was saying that this guy might own property, he might be a real estate agent, he might be a banker, he might be a something else, but he's got his fingers in pies. It's definitely earth energy here. And the Gran Signore is the Lord of the Manor. He's sort of like the King of Cups. He's the guy who everybody comes to. He's always, you know, good natured, good cheer. People look up to him. They come get donations from him. You know, he's the guy. Um, and that's just an odd, both of these two trios of cards are very, very odd to fall on what they did. Let's see if this Ten of Wands can tell us something. These are the somewhat, I don't want to say negative, but these are the cards that kind of, let's see. The L'Amica, a relationship of trust, or the close friend, or the confidant. Remember I said it's like she knows something, that she's been carrying some kind of secret, either having to do with this guy or something that he said to her. I don't know what I just meant by that. L'amante, requited love. Remember when I was telling you there's two cups here? There's still love there. Ah, well, could this be? It very well could be. It could be that these two people and perhaps it is due to um, them having two different communication styles, two different ways of looking at things. You see, because this does represent sometimes ambitions, okay, and maybe there's a conflict because maybe one doesn't think the other one is going to support them in some way. The other person may be wanting to help support them all the way, but the messages are getting garbled here. But there's also something to do with the family or friendships. Again, it's groups that I'm picking up. Now, we just had Jupiter move into Libra, and Libra is all about partnerships, work relationships, familial relationships, friendships, marriages, committed relationships. It is about what you wed yourself to. Okay, what do you wed yourself to? Here we do have these two priests here. We do have this fortunate event. We do see that the universe is trying to bring something, a new path for us to walk in, something that will give us a new lease on life, a new vitality here. We will be happy like a baby, riding buck naked on the back of a horse. And not to mention that the baby is waving a banner. Okay. And red is the color of passion. It is the color of desire. It's also the color of anger. But banners are an announcement. We go from winter to the sun. So maybe this may be playing out into the summer. There is no timing in the tarot. And because I only have 3 cards of 3 major arcana, it's more so in a sense that you have some control over this, but we just can't figure out what it is we're supposed to be doing. Now, back to this 3 cards here. And what I'm getting is, you know, I don't know if this L'Amica is part of this friend group. Okay. And I don't know if this male amante has romantic feelings for this close friend. Sometimes this card does speak about the hidden woman. Okay. And remember I said there's a marriage here, or he represents a marriage. It's doing the right thing. And again, I have these 3 cups here. So this could indeed be 3 people in a situation. But as you can see, the male lover and the female lover have their backs to each other. And he is focused on this relationship. Okay. This is telling me he has feelings for this, but it's a 10 of Wands. It's not something that's really not the kind of, maybe the person feels a responsibility in some way or shape to this person. Okay. Maybe there's some kind of responsibility there. But it could also simply speak to a relationship of trust between 2 people, and they're at odds. Their backs are against each other. Remember, I'm talking about the cards, the communication here that comes across most strongly. And it could be that the fact that they are not on the same page at the same time, they think differently. But it's good not to have people sometimes that don't think the same as you. That's how you come up with great innovative ideas. Yeah, it'll create some friction, okay? But nevertheless, as I was saying, there's really love there, okay? There's love there. So, where there's a will, there's a way. You can work it out. Because this Page of Swords just kind of looks like immature communications between 2 people. And they may have hurt each other's feelings. Now let's look at what this Sun card, not the Sun card, this Knight of Swords, because this is the overall energy. This is also rushing, debate, impatience. Again, it could be 2 people that really, and they need to come together and speak or talk to each other, and try to work out whatever the differences are, without rushing headlong into it, allowing the other person to get their point across, listening to the other person. Communication is a 2-way street. I still don't understand what these 3 cards are telling me here on the 2 of Swords. I don't understand what the Alegría, Consolante, Sorpresa, Gran Signore are telling me. It's just an odd... I don't know if the person, this Gran Signore, is trying to decide whether or not this person's going to fit in with his family or friends, or is he going to have to make a choice? I really don't understand what those cards are telling me. And nevertheless, listen to the higher self. Are you doing what you want to do, or are you doing what you think you should do? And sometimes, like I said, this person can be very rigid in the way that they think. They have an idea of exactly how shit should go, and they don't want to deviate from it. But you're being asked to change your position or change something. That's what this says. You're being given an opportunity to walk a new path. And this could be something as simple as 2 people's religious ideas are not the same. And maybe that's what the conflict is over. Well, how this person, I'm a Muslim and that person's a Christian. How's my family and friends going to deal with that? I really love that person. I trust this person. But as you can see, they're at odds. All right, let's take a look and see what... look, you love who you love. And if your friends and family can't respect that, then, I have no... You have one life, and you have to live it for yourself. You have to walk the path which you are destined to walk. Okay, and you do get to choose that. Every once in a while, something or someone will come into your life, and you'll be asked to choose to walk your path. You're being granted an opportunity to walk your path, really walk it for yourself. And you can't allow other people to come in and dictate to you what is right and what is wrong for you. They may not agree with it. Okay. Remember, I said it could be, not being very nice. Um, Sometimes you have to stand up and you have to hurt people's feelings in order to stand true in yourself and who you are and the choices that you make. But you also have to be responsible for the, whatever the consequences of the choices that you make. But if your family and your friends really care about you, and again, I'm going to look at those two cups to say there is still love all the way around in the situation. Um, they may be upset, but they'll get over it. Really, why are they worried about you burning in hell? They need to be worried about themselves burning in hell because they're telling you not to walk your path. Okay, here we go. Donna de Servicio. Errands, housework. She's an action card. So whatever this Knight of Swords is talking about, it's something coming in to help. Something that someone feels or thinks or has been dreaming of that really will give them the achievement that they wanted for a long time. And achievement and success is really personal. For some people, it is clawing their way to the top of a Fortune 500 company and having a 10,000 square foot house and 6 Maseratis and a yacht and first class travel. For some people, it is that. For other people, it is going to school and getting their PhD, being the first person to ever graduate college from their family. For others, it is, my family. My family is my greatest success. Okay. My children are all healthy. They're happy. Success is personal. And so you can't allow society or other people to come in and dictate to you what success is and what it isn't. That's personal. Just as I was saying, because there's really a gift here. So I think this Ace of Pentacles is challenging whomever is in this situation to, of course, stop, take a moment, pause, reflect, get in touch with your intuition. If need be, talk to others. Should you, people that you do trust. Remember I was saying like this mentor. Don't be so rigid and don't be so stuck in thinking that things only have to be one way. My grandma used to say there's more than one way to skin a cat, and if that's what's coming between these two people, that they have different ideas or they approach things differently and they have a different manner of communication, it can make things difficult, yes, but as long as you try to communicate with each other from love and know that even though this person may, you ever seen that Dr. Seuss? It's one of my favorite stories. It's the Butter Battle book. And it's about there's a wall that separates these two groups of people. And this group of people over here, they butter their bread on the right side. And the other group of people, they butter their bread on the left side. And that's the way it's always been. Rigidity. It's always been that way. And finally, they get into an argument. They get into a fight over which is the proper way to butter the bread. And they come almost to the brink of like a nuclear war. Okay? And it's a great book. If you've never read it, if you've never even seen the little cartoon that comes on, it's really a great one. I think it was something very brilliant that Dr. Seuss did to show children the importance of accepting people for who they are, even if you don't understand why the butter's being braided on the right side and why it's on, but that there's still some value. So if you can take those differences and bring them together, you can always create a third thing. And you don't give a shit what anybody else says. Why? Because you're living your own life. So that's what I have for you, Aquarians. I'm going to pull you one. This is a great reading. I think I got something out of it. It may not come to me until later. You know what I keep seeing in the cards? And that's got to be this Libra energy. And I was saying, I don't know, in one of the, what do you call it? The open readings, that I thought that relationships were really going to become front and center and that it's going to be a reset on relationships, but this is relationships of all types. And again, this reads like some kind of proposal. And it has been showing up in so many personal readings. And I think the Sagittarian one, I'm not exactly sure, and the Capricorn video. And it's like some new kind of partnership can be brought about. And if you're not in a space where you're looking to get married or have kids or an engagement or anything like that, this could be a new partnership with a group of people. Those people who really speak to you and that can help you get on that new path. And whenever you walk another path, then, you have to leave that old one behind. And it's difficult sometimes to leave things behind. Now, I don't know. Let me look before I show you this card. I'm obviously, I think I'm missing this someplace, but there could be some kind of health issue going on here. Maybe some stress. Maybe someone has had some kind of heart trouble, even though that's not typically the card that we see. But because it deals with emotions, we know that that's the center and the seat of our emotional sphere is our heart. Maybe this is speaking to some type of operation, and someone doesn't know what the outcome will be. They're a little worried by that. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I have this card of improving health. And I don't do health readings, okay? But if it's not something physical, this could literally just be a spiritual ailment. And know that, when we are sick in our spirit or we are sick in our heart, that affects us physically. When we are depressed, when we are overworked and we are stressed, this can make us physically ill. And it can interrupt with your relationships that you have with people. So all in all, even if there's not a medical issue here, but there's something that has been weighing you down, something that has been making you very, very sad. Again, the sun comes out. It's going to be okay, improving health. And maybe you need to get out and talk to somebody about it. I don't know. Okay, Aquarians, that's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped. And until next time, namaste.